This is New Day Northwest.
Welcome back. Have you ever heard of the concept of a 15-minute city? Well, a new interactive map is making it way easy to understand just how easy or not it is to get certain things in Seattle. Joining me now is the map's creator, Nat Henry. Welcome to New Day.
Thank you.
Okay, I was clicking around with this map. Very cool. But explain to us, what is the map and what does it show?
Sure, so it's an interactive map that shows walking time to daily necessities around Seattle for every block in Seattle. And so there are options at the top showing things like supermarkets, parks, restaurants, coffee shops. And if you select one option, you can see the walking time to just that amenity. And if you select multiple times, you can see what is the longest walking time across all of those.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
so the idea is that as you zoom into your neighborhood and as you select and unselect different options, you start to see neighborhoods where you can walk to all of your daily necessities within 15 minutes.
Okay, and we're going to actually do some specifics in a minute, but why did you make it?
So for me, I live in Capitol Hill in the Pike Pine area. And for me, I live in a very walkable neighborhood. So I walk to groceries, I basically walk to all my necessities of daily life, and I love that. And as I've been thinking about, where else I could live in Seattle and sort of, things like starting a family, I was wondering, what other neighborhoods could I do this in? And I think that many other people had the same question. And so I built this map mainly for myself, but then it's gotten sort of a huge reaction since, which I'm very happy about.
I think the best inventions come when we want to do something for ourselves and then we realize that other people really can enjoy it or join in.
Yes.
So the idea of a 15-minute city, why is that so important beyond the fact that we can get there quickly?
Yeah, so I think that it's really an interesting concept and something that Seattle is maybe on the verge of because people just innately want to be able to walk to things. I think some of the reaction to this map has shown that. And I think it's also helpful to think about, as the city continues to grow and as we continue to deal with things like climate change, how do we build a sustainable future for Seattle and for the world? And I think that part of that is going to be walkability. So I think that, the 15-minute city is useful, even if not everyone wants to walk to every amenity, it's useful to have the option.
Right.
And so I think that some of the reaction to that has shown that people around Seattle are really interested in sort of turning Seattle into a 15-minute city.
One thing I thought was genius about your 15-minute city is when we walk, instead of riding in our cars, we actually pass people and we actually make eye contact or say hello. And if we pass the same people several times, we might even strike up a conversation. And the idea that we build a community by seeing each other is I think, a wonderful concept, because if we're seeing each other, we're not so much fighting with each other, and maybe we understand each other better. So I thought that was an incredible part of that.
Absolutely, and I've gotten some really interesting comments on the map where someone said, we just had a coffee shop and little bodega open near my house, and it wasn't in a walkable neighborhood before, and now it is, and the entire character of the neighborhood has changed. And I love that, and I would love to see more of that around Seattle.
So you have some, we're going to look at the map in a little bit more detail, some interesting points on the map that you think people should know about. So
yes, so I think some interesting parts of the map are that, first of all, you can see walkability by amenity, and there are some amenities that are actually very walkable for most Seattleites. And so over 90% of Seattleites can walk to a park, a bus stop that gets to downtown, a coffee shop, or a restaurant. But really, when you start to zoom in on different features and also start to include things like schools, you start to see that walkability map shrink a little bit. And so here on Capitol Hill, you can see that even though this is a very dense and very central part of the city, if you want to live within several of these amenities and also an elementary school, there's actually only a sort of a few block radius where it's just a 5-minute walk to all those things or a 10-minute walk to all those things. And then on the other hand, some interesting things you see are neighborhoods where just a single additional amenity would make it a walkable neighborhood. And so here, if you look at West Seattle, you'll often hear, West Seattle is a less walkable neighborhood, but actually you have these sort of two areas of walkability. And if we just had one more library in sort of the center there, you can see that would unlock.
You would connect those two,
Exactly, and so you'd get a 15-minute neighborhood going all the way down that sort of central part of West Seattle.
So the red and orange, the colors, do they indicate?
Yes, so blue
a longer walking?
indicates a 5-minute walk, and then that blue through green, that's the 15-minute walk. And then as you go out farther, so the orange to red, you get sort of 15 to 30 minutes.
That one more amenity that connected them, we saw that there.
Exactly.
Oh, what a wonderful concept. And were you surprised how much interest it got?
Yes, I posted it on Twitter, and it's just a personal map that I made for myself, and sort of as a New Year's resolution, I wanted to make this, and posted it, and then it really blew up. And people were commenting about their own experience of living within walkable neighborhoods in Seattle. People messaging me saying, this is going to help me choose my next apartment or move in with my partner.
Oh, yes.
And also folks saying that, this is sort of a direction that they want to see the city move in. And so I was really glad that it resonated with people. And it also showed up on the front page of the Seattle Times, which I was very pleased by. So
and what other maps have you made?
So my background is actually in geography, and so I'm really lucky that I get to have my day job making maps. So I work at the University of Washington, and I make lots of maps of health and access to health services. But I'm hoping to make more maps of Seattle for the next year. My goal is to do one map a month for the rest of the year. And so
I say Bellevue, downtown Bellevue. Okay.
Yes. And Bellevue.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's quite an invention. Love it. Thanks for spending time with us today, and you can check our website for more of our content, and you can always send us an email to share your thoughts. Go out and enjoy your new day, and we will see you next time.